Good morning. You're in the loop. Every week we talk with the people who make San Antonio a better place to live. Thanks for joining us in the loop. Here's your host, Milton Glick.
Well, welcome to In the Loop. I'm Milton Glick, and that's what we do. We get you caught up with the people and the organizations that are going to make San Antonio a better place to live. Our guest today, Shannon May, Vice President of Veteran Support with the Guardian Community. And we're going to talk about that organization because it's really interesting and it's really unique. We're going to talk about what they do, and we're going to talk about how you can help them. So, Shannon, welcome to In the Loop. How are you?
Thank you, Milton. I'm good.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit. Okay, so this is how we start. Let's talk about the history and the mission of Guardian Community. Okay. I'm going to get you a little closer to the mic. There you go. Perfect.
So the history on the Guardian Community, we've been around for a little over 2 years. We are actually...
You're okay.
Firefighter is our CEO. He is a retired firefighter. And then there's veterans. We have first responders. We're all veteran, first responder led, which is what makes us a little bit different.
Okay.
Mission statement is basically just to help all of our wounded warriors, all of our veterans, our first responders who've been there for us. Sometimes afterwards, they have no place to go when they need it. So we pick up the pieces.
So let's talk a little bit about the uniqueness. There's a uniqueness in the approach. Because, like I said, we've talked to other organizations here on In the Loop, but yours has a little overall umbrella uniqueness to it, and that's the faith-based, right?
We are faith-based.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, but let's shift back. So how long ago, how old is the organization?
It's a little over 2 years.
Okay, so it's really recent.
It is recent.
What was the impetus for starting?
We had worked for another organization that we just did not feel was doing right. And so we broke off and started our own so we could make sure that things were being very transparent and we were actually seeing results from what we wanted to do. Very
cool. We're going to talk about some of those results in just a second. So let's talk a little bit about the people that you serve. So I think when people think of PTSD, they generally think of veterans.
They do.
But you mentioned first responders. Talk a little bit about that.
So I think people don't understand that first responders are probably even more so with PTSD. Reason being is they get put in situations. They go into a shooting. They go into a fire. And sometimes they can't save somebody. Sometimes that they go home at night and they think about it and they start talking about what they could have done differently to have had a different outcome. And it really gets to them. There's children that have been shot. They can't save. There's a lot to it. So I think that it's only normal for them to have PTSD from their job because this is day-to-day stuff.
Does everyone understand what PTSD is? I know they probably know what it stands for with each one of the initials. Do you want to tell us what it stands for and what it is?
Sure. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. And what it is it's trauma. We've gone through a trauma. And it retains itself in its brain, and your life changes, and you don't know why. You just don't know why. You're having nightmares. You're having relationship issues. You're starting to notice that you're drinking a little bit more, becoming a little more antisocial. Things just aren't normal, and you don't know why. And it's because there has been a trauma, and your brain has recognized it as so, but it hasn't dealt with it. It hasn't talked it through. It hasn't compartmentalized it. Sometimes it even comes across as headaches, backaches, shoulder pains, upset stomachs all the time. And you just really don't know what's causing it. But that's how it kind of presents himself.
And I had I still have a friend who discussed that when he gets out of, he has a tall car, like a truck. Mm-hmm. And when he gets out of the truck, he has to check each way and check. I think he gave the things, and I don't understand the terms, but I think he said he has to check right, left, forward, and then he moves, and he says he can't stop it.
It's very common. You'll notice, too, a lot of veterans, first responders, when they go out to eat in a restaurant, when they're in the airport, they never have their back to the door. They're always having to, watch, scan, make sure who's there. If there's any sort of problems that might come through that door, they want to be the first ones to see it, recognize it, and do something about it. So
we're talking to Shannon May. She's the Vice President of Veteran Support with with Guardian Community, the website, guardiancommunity.org, and that's where they'll find everything that we're talking about?
They will, yes, sir.
All right, let's talk a little bit, too, now about some of the programs that you have. We mentioned there was a little bit of a difference, but talk about how you, because this is a complicated problem.
It is.
And I'm glad that you discussed what it was, because for those of us who haven't experienced it or who don't have relatives or family that have experienced PTSD, I don't know that we know.
I think sometimes people don't even know that's what it is. They just know something's different. They're not responding the same. They're having marital problems, and their husband's having nightmares, and things are just changing, and they don't know what's causing it. So the thing is, we've all been there. That's what makes us a little bit different. All of us have had PTSD. We have PTSD. We've had traumas. We've had things that have happened to us in our past. Military service, firefighter, just like I'm saying. And we actually are the mentors of these people who come in for our program. It's 100% free. They do not pay anything to get trauma therapy. And, it's not something that you're healed from, but it's something you learn to deal with. It's something you find joy in life again. And so that's what makes us a little bit different.
So what are some of the approaches? You mentioned mentorship, and I'm going to be presumptive because I know from some other interviews that's really important, because now it is someone who has, one, experienced it, and two, has a background that's similar to this individual who's mentoring them. So they can't say, well, you don't understand what I'm going through, because they do. Is that fair?
It's very fair. I will say that my father was a Vietnam vet. He had some stuff going on in his head that I didn't really understand when Iraq happened. Some triggers. Started acting a little bit different. Went to the VA. They just gave him medicine, sent him home, and we thought everything was fine. He ended up shooting himself, and so I went to the VA trying to get therapy for that, and the therapist just didn't really understand. They knew what they could see in a book, but they'd never been through it. They'd never lost somebody from suicide. They didn't understand what I was feeling, what my mom was feeling, how to get to the other side. So this is something that's a little bit different with us, is we've been through all this.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to the other side. And definitely God has gotten us there. I do believe that that's why my dad did commit suicide, even though it's horrible and terrible. I believe God had a bigger plan, and I needed to feel that. I needed to understand that so I can help others not go through that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to use that as a segue. Talk about the faith-based part of it and what a difference it makes.
So I will tell you that you do not have to be a believer.
Right.
We have atheists that come in and they just want therapy, and we do not have to discuss God. I will tell you that it usually ends up that way, and they tend to flip a little bit because they just don't even know what they're missing. They don't understand things. They're not processing things correctly. But yes, we try to pray. We try to lean on God when we need him and kind of teach them the skills and asking God for what we need. And it's what's brought us to this point, I believe. I believe he's set us up for what we do, but you definitely do not have to be a Christian to get services with us.
Yeah. About how many, do you know approximately how many folks you've served?
Right now we have about 150, including employees and everything else, because we do actually employ some of the veterans with PTSD or first responders. Sometimes they don't fit in someplace because they have triggers, they have this, and all of our fundraising is usually done on golf courses.
Okay.
The San Antonio golf courses are amazing, and they've really treated us well. But we are all the way from California to Florida. Usually Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays we set up. They get to meet people. They donate. We do a little challenge, and then those cards are handed out. They're called life-saving cards with our information on it, and we actually get a lot of people off the golf course. They look like they're happy. They look like they're having fun with their friends, but when they get home and throw that card up on the counter, they're like, I think I need to call. I think that maybe this is supposed to be.
Very interesting.
So, yeah.
Talk a little bit, too, and I'm guessing that everyone is different, but are there certain things that you have to, I'm just curious because I don't think I've ever asked this, that you have to overcome as you begin to mentor someone who's come to you? Is it a trust issue to gain their trust? Is it feeling safe? Does that make sense? When you help somebody,
it does. What I have noticed and what I have heard from a lot of the people that I do mentor is I feel like I'm heard with you. I feel like you care, and I don't feel like you're doing this because it's a job.
Okay.
We're a little different. It's not. Yes, we do our weekly Zoom calls, but they still have our cell phone number, and if they're going through something and they need help, they can call us, they can text us. I don't care what time of day it is. We're still there for them.
Yeah.
So that makes things a little bit different. They don't feel like just another person that is being treated by a therapist. They actually feel like we're brothers and sisters getting through this together.
That's so cool. Our guest today, Shannon May, she's the Vice President of Veteran Support with the Guardian Community, the website guardiancommunity.org, and we're talking about the organization. I've got so many questions bumping around in my head, but what is it that you want our listeners to know, too, as we're talking about this? What haven't I asked you yet? Because I have all these questions.
I just want them to know that we're here.
Okay.
Lots of times people just don't want to go through the whole process of finding a therapist or going to the VA system and having to wait 6 months. We're here, and we're here now. So if they need help, they can go online, they can call us, and we will get back with them and set up an appointment. We have quite a few of us out there, so we can kind of pick and choose which personalities fit. Some want female, some want male. It just depends, and we're there for them. So don't think that your problems aren't important. They are. If you've been through anything like this and you have unresolved trauma, please call us because we can help. You know, we've all found ways to get through it and find joy on the other side.
How do I reach you? What's the phone number?
Our phone number is...
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, okay. The phone number is 877-748-7833, and I imagine that's also on the website.
It is.
Okay. And I thought it was cool. You have a basically 24-hour chat, and is someone at this number all the time?
They are not, but
Okay.
even with the chat, sometimes there's not somebody monitoring at that point because
Okay.
we are East Coast, West Coast,
Yeah.
and everything in between. But as soon as you put in a chat, we do get an email immediately or a text, and we
Okay.
get back with you.
All right. So it always occurs to me, first off, I'm guessing you've seen this. I'm going back from experience interviewing other folks, and that is that someone will come through your program and say, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. This is wonderful. I'm feeling better. This is going great. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Is that fair?
We actually have quite a few of those.
Is that right?
We have quite a few of those.
So let's talk a little bit about why someone listening right now doesn't make the decision. Do they know they need help?
I think that's what it is. They feel like they're not important enough. Their problems aren't that big.
Okay.
And so they don't want to ask for the help, especially men. Men tend
Okay.
to be the ones, especially when they're first responders or veterans, they're kind of told and raised to man up. This is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Handle it. Don't think about it. Move on. It's okay. But that's not real life. I mean, you cannot say that you've witnessed these things or done these things and it's not going to stick with you.
Okay. So what pushes them when people talk with you? What is it that made them finally make the call or click on an email and have someone call them back or the chat? Do they tell you? Because I know there's someone listening right now. I mean, how many people would you say in the community? Is it 1 in 10, 1 in 5, 1 in 30?
I mean, San Antonio, especially our community, it's
That's
different.
right.
I mean, we are a military
Yeah,
city.
that's right.
We are, and then we've got a huge fire and police presence. So I would say that, I mean, probably 25% almost, I would think.
It could be. I would think
Yeah.
that was fair. Yeah. So the chances of someone listening who needs the services of the Guardian community are pretty strong.
They are.
So what is it that you know will get them to make the decision to seek help?
I think what I know is that they're not living their lives happy anymore. There's
Okay.
something they're lacking. They don't know what it is. They might be just stuck at home without family, without friends, without anybody to talk to. They might be going out and enjoying life, but then when they go home, life's very different. They are sad. They're having nightmares. They're having arguments. They're a little bit anxious. They're road rage. There's things that are happening, and they don't know what's causing it. I feel like those are the triggers. Those are the
Okay.
reasons to say, hey, I think I might have a problem.
So we'll take a guy. So, and I am curious, is there well, I'll ask in a second.
Okay.
Is that guy saying to himself, okay, I'm having these problems, but I've been trained. I got to man up. I got to take care of this myself. And what is it what is that trigger mechanism that makes him go, you know what, I just can't. I need to get help.
So I actually have one that I can tell you about that happened last week.
Perfect.
He's in another state. He is a battalion commander for a fire department. So he's the boss. He's supposed to be the one who handles everything. He had been drinking after he got home from work. He was in tears. He had had a bad day and felt responsible for some stuff that had happened the day before with somebody on his chain of command. Well, you can't go to the department therapist because everybody knows about it. And I feel like that's very similar with the police department. They don't want to have anything on them where they might lose their gun, they might get put in suspension.
Okay.
So they just pretend that it didn't happen. He was having a very hard day, and he called. I answered, and probably an hour and a half later, he had stopped. He was happy. He was like, "You're right. I hadn't thought about it that way." He did say I was a little bit blunt, and I tend to be a little bit that way because it's true. I mean, don't come at me with problems. If I give you a solution, take it. Take it. And he actually is ready to start. He's ready to start because he feels like he knows he's gone through some stuff and he has nobody else to turn to.
Okay.
So I think that's the difference too.
So maybe that first step is just making the call.
Just make the call.
Yeah, and then from there, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Just take that risk and make the call? Okay.
I mean, it can be a 2-minute call. It can be an hour-and-a-half long call, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just let us kind of fill you out and see what's going on. And
So you don't have to answer this question, but it's been an hour and a half and you've been talking to the gentleman and you notice a change. How does that make you feel as the person who he was talking to?
This has been the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
I will
can
tell
see
you that. Yeah. It's something that I actually was planning on retiring a couple years, and my kids are all off and out of the house, and I was just going to enjoy my retirement, and that's not happened. And it's okay because I actually feel that I'm making a difference in somebody's life, and that to me is worth everything.
Okay. That's very cool. I am curious, too. You mentioned what men go through. So you said especially men. So you're a woman.
I am.
Yes, you are. What do women, how do they justify not calling?
I think women are more prone to call, to tell you the truth.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Another thing we do, speaking of women, is we do spouses of military.
Okay, and I'm curious about that too.
Because lots of times they need the support as well. They're having to be the one in the house living with this person with PTSD. So we definitely do treat them as well.
Okay.
But women tend to be a little more in touch with their feelings. They know that they're having a problem. They try to get help. And men, I think it's just been a different in raising and upbringing that they're told, man up, you're fine.
Got to be tough.
Got to be tough.
Especially
throw some dirt on it, you're good.
Especially if you're in the military or if you're a first responder, you really have to be tough.
Yes.
But that's not the case.
Not always the case.
Yeah. Okay, so
and you can still be tough and have problems.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, good.
I actually think it's a stronger person that can ask for the help that they need to change their life.
I like that. So you are being tough by asking for help. You are being stronger. Oh, that's a great take on that. That's because it makes perfect sense. Talking to Shannon May, who is the Vice President of Veteran Support with Guardian Community, the website guardiancommunity.org, and the phone number, if you want to call, 877-748-7833. But that's on the website. Just Google Guardian Community and you will find it. And this is exciting. We still have plenty of time left. I want to get into some other issues. Are there any issues that kind of have popped up in your head before I go on? I just want to make sure we're covering everything.
I think we're doing good.
All right. So do you have another success story? And maybe, I tell you what, we'll go two ways. Okay. Let's talk about an individual who went through the program, and then we'll talk about the family, because I don't know, you mentioned that, and that's great, but I don't know if people really appreciate, maybe we'll do that first, that this has a huge impact on the family and probably not something that the person who's going through PTSD wants to have happen to their family and doesn't want them to suffer, but it does have a big impact. Is that
absolutely
accurate?
does.
Okay.
It does.
What kind of impact?
Relationship issues, huge.
Okay.
All of a sudden, your husband's waking up in the middle of the night, beating the pillows up, yelling, screaming. It's very common. He's having nightmares. And then he's just angry. He's just angry, gets upset about little things that weren't normally him before.
Right.
You see a change.
Okay.
So you still love them. You still want to be there, be their support system, but it's hard. You don't understand how to help them. It's different. So sometimes just having somebody to talk to explain, hey, have you tried saying this? Have you tried doing that? Like, how are you feeling? What are you doing for yourself for self-care? Like, how do we get you through this? I actually have a lady here in Texas, too, and her husband are both veterans. Mm-hmm. She has a baby and a 2-year-old, and he has PTSD, refuses to admit that it's him. It's not me. And she actually left him this year, and she is raising her children by herself. She's starting college. She's changing her whole life because she knew that nothing she said or did to him was going to make a difference.
Yeah.
That's on him.
It's just sad. Yeah, it's
sad.
But it is.
It's sad, but she had to protect herself. So we're there to kind of support her, getting her through all this. We've helped her get with the VA to get into college and start first person in her family to ever go to college. Her dad's dying now, and so we're helping her with the grief of that. So it's not just about this, it's about life.
Yeah, okay.
It's about life. And I mean, we have a hard time dealing sometimes.
Yeah.
We just need somebody to talk to.
If someone is listening and you mentioned a spouse, so we'll keep it as a spouse because it could be a woman that's going through it. It could be a man. So the spouse.
Absolutely.
Do you help them to not only cope with it, but maybe I am sure they want to encourage their spouse who's going through this to seek help, but do you train them on how to seek help?
We try to encourage them. We even say, hey, will he be on a call with you? Will she be on a call with you? Let us talk to him for a few minutes. Let's see what we can do.
Oh, that's terrific.
Sometimes they will. Sometimes they won't.
Okay.
But at least we give them the support and kind of some key items of maybe have you said this? Maybe have you done that? Things that might just help a little bit and make them understand what they're going through so where they can feel a little more empowered.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. That's very interesting, too, because then, yes, they're empowered. And, two, I wonder if, and I'm just curious, if having that spouse, that family member on the phone with them gives them a bit of support. And maybe they learn something about what the whole bigger picture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. Talk a little bit about, again, if I haven't mentioned anything, you bring it up, but what can our listeners do to support your organization and help it out?
It takes a lot of money to actually put one person through our GRP program.
Okay.
They do not pay a penny. So we always look for donations. We're always looking for, sponsorships from companies that want to be part of it, want to help veterans. I mean, it's a tax write-off for them. And we are a 501c3. Everything's transparent as far as our financials. So we're always looking for support from the community for that too. So let's talk about businesses because I know we have a lot of businesses. I know we have churches that do a lot of things. How do they become a sponsor? And what does that look like? So they can give me a call. They can go online and you can actually, I think there's actually a button you can push on there to donate or to do anything like that. If not, just contact me and I can get you in touch or tell you what to do. Yeah, I'm going to be a little sappy here, but I have a feeling for companies that get it, it's not so much about the tax write-off as it is of like somebody's got to do something, and I'm glad I found an organization that's doing some good stuff. And, a lot of companies here, I'm sure, employ veterans. Yes. I'm sure they employ first responders. And, just get the word out that we're there to help. And maybe they just don't know about us. Maybe they don't know where to turn. Because I will tell you, myself as a veteran, going to the VA hospital is very difficult. They can see you in 6 months. Well, if you have a problem and you need to talk now. Well, you've made a tough decision to ask for help. It's hard. You give me 6 months, I'm going to change my mind. Exactly. And, it's like, okay, we'll put you on medicine or we'll do this. And it's like, but that's not what I asked for. I just need someone to listen. Yeah. I just need someone to be there for me. And that's where we're a little bit different. Okay. You mentioned your dad. Is there anything else about your story that you want to share? When I was in the Army, I had a lot of people commit suicide. I had a lot of people have issues, and I was young. I didn't really understand it at the time. It didn't impact me like I thought it might, but then when it happened to me at home, it really did impact me. I mean, I had left my father 30 minutes prior to him shooting himself. I had absolutely no idea that was getting ready to happen. We were planning a trip for my daughter. We were doing this. Everything was fine in my eyes. But it wasn't. And I just hate that I didn't know and I wanted to blame people for it. I wanted to blame everybody for it. The VA failed him, and I had to finally come to the realization that that was a choice he made. And when somebody commits suicide, it's their choice. And a lot of people have that guilt after that happens. They missed a sign. They missed
What could
something.
I have done?
What could I have done different? And suicide doesn't work that way.
All right, we got about a minute and a half. Do me a favor. I want you to, from your experience, talk to those folks that are listening that haven't made the decision to get help yet, and talk to them and see if, from with your knowledge and empathy, talk to them about getting help.
Just make the call. Just make the call. Not if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your kids, do it for your spouse, but do it for yourself too, because everybody has been through some sort of trauma, and there is a way out of it. There is happiness still in life. There's ways to deal with it. There's things that you can do, and you don't always have to live this sad life anymore that you just don't understand. Let us help you with it. Let us get you through it and make you smile again and find joy in little things, hobbies, and going out and being with your friends. Get out of the house. We're here. We're here.
Cool.
Let us help.
Perfect. All righty. Our guest today on In the Loop, Shannon May, Vice President of Veteran Support with Guardian Community, the website guardiancommunity.org, and I encourage you to go there either to learn more, because you're going to come up against this at some point. I didn't think I'd know anybody, and I have probably 5 people in my world who have PTSD. But yep, go to the website, learn more, or go to the website to get help. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll say goodbye for today. I'm Milton Glick. You join us next week as we keep you in the loop.
Thanks for joining us in the Loop. We look forward to bringing you next week's show with Milton Glick.